Welcome back to Vlogmas. It's day 6 and today we're going thrifting. I have 2 or 3 stores that I usually go to. I haven't been there for a while and I need to go see what they have. If it's your first time here, my name is Laura and I have a booth at an antique store. That means I need to continuously be finding new things to put in the booth. One of my favorite ways to do that is to go thrifting. There's a few stores that I like to visit on a regular basis. Sometimes I have a reason, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I find a small reason just to have an excuse to go. Today is one of those days. When I was looking at all of the Christmas wreaths in the booth, I noticed how much wall space I have and that I want to keep it filled even after Christmas. So I'm here looking for wall art and different things that I can hang up once I take all of the Christmas stuff out of the booth. One of my favorite stores is the Habitat Restore. Luckily, I have at least 1 or 2 other stops planned for today. It's almost lunchtime, so I want to get in there before everybody shows up. The furniture section is one of my favorites at the Restore. They always have a good mix of project and ready-to-go furniture. I've found a lot of things here. Today I'm looking, but I know I don't have a lot of extra space and I have a lot of projects already on the list. So I'm just checking everything. They also have a lot of mix, like some snow fence, which is a great time of year for that. And I've learned that you need to check this area because they use some of the small items that I want to decorate. Getting into the shelves that I like to pick from, I saw these vases. This milk glass caught my eye, but they just have so much glass at this store. I've definitely found some gems on these shelves, but this is a place where I've also kind of gauged what people have too much of. Something that's maybe more common or things that I should even avoid buying at other stores. But there's a solid mix of new and old things. And this wine rack definitely caught my eye. And they almost always have a good selection of mugs. Definitely can't keep my eye off of the vases today, but this one still has the water in it. And I had to check out the milk glass before turning back and looking at the rest of the glass items on the shelf. It does seem that glasses are cheaper here. They're about 50 cents. At Goodwill, they're usually $1. I do like those blue glasses, but I just don't need any for the booth right now. I do eventually make it to the wall art. This mirror definitely caught my eye. It looked vintage, but I believe it was just made to look vintage. So after seeing that, I definitely passed on the piece. Then they have this whole wall of artwork. I fumbled through a few things, but just didn't see anything that kind of caught my eye. I've also noticed that the prices have gone up a little bit, which is fine. Everything else has gone up too. These bird pictures were definitely something that stuck out, but they were $10 a piece, and that's really what I would sell them for. I always check the books just to see what they have. Sometimes they're older and they're great for decorations. I've found a vintage cookbook here before, a book on Egypt, and you just never know what you're going to find. I definitely checked here for doorknobs when I did my bottle brush trees. They have a lot of different odd and end stuff and some tools. I did take one final look at the end caps, and these vases definitely stuck out. I really liked these blue ones, but that one has a chip on it. And then I noticed the teal ones in the back. These looked like they would be a duplicate, but they have this mark on the bottom, which makes me think they might be original. Of course, I check them for chips and take them with me. Well, we kept it down to 1 bag. I did clean out the back before I left, expecting to come here and get anything that I could find. Couldn't find much. They did have 2 free chairs that they were just putting in the free section when I left, but I don't think the garage can even hold another chair right now. So I'm definitely gonna leave those for someone who might need them, especially for the holidays. but I wasn't finding very much. And then at the end, I ended up grabbing like 4 vases. So I'll show you all of that when we get home. But right now I need to head over to Goodwill because all of that art was just a little too expensive. Sometimes they have good finds. We'll see what they have today. I have made it to Goodwill, but in Fort Wayne, we have this coupon book that's called Mad Money. It usually comes for free in the mail, and companies just put their coupons in it kind of just for advertising. Every month they have one for Goodwill. You can go to Mad Money coupon book, look for current coupons, and then you just have to search for the current coupon. So if you don't get it in the mail, or if you don't remember to bring it, like me, you can just look it up on your phone. It's always a scavenger hunt to find the right coupon within all of the other coupons, so I like to look for it before I go in. There it is. Okay, I have it pulled up. It is every week get 50% off of the select color, which is like for everyone, and then 20% off of your order. So this one is good through the end of December. Now that I have that pulled up, I can go in and shop and know that I'm gonna get 20% off today. Right now, Goodwill is filled with Christmas. It is definitely too late for me to be picking up things for the store, but I did check and see if I needed anything for the house. That cat was cute, stuck out to me. But there's just so many things. I ended up skipping over them and going straight to the wall art. This picture was neat. I checked to see if it was maybe hand painted, but it's just too similar to pieces that I already have in the store that haven't sold yet. So I left it there, even though I liked it. Didn't find anything else, but I definitely wanted to check the dishes. There were a bunch of seasonal cake pans, and this one definitely caught my eye. A little bit of a bust. I only found one thing. Might as well just show you right now. When we get home, I can kind of explain the idea, but I've been trying to collect some metal cake pans. I'm up to 3, and they're all 3 different colors, and I think they'll look really neat, but I probably need 5 or more to really make the effect happen. It feels like the thrift haul is getting smaller by the minute, so when we get home, I'll show you the other cake pans so you can kind of see the idea that I'm thinking. Let's go to another stop. I did find a few more things at this one. Still no wall hangings or any art, but that's okay. We still have quite a few days before spring. Okay, we're out in the garage, which is a story for another day. This is my half. Some days when you go thrifting, they're just not as fruitful as other days, and I think it's okay to share that story too. Even though I went out to look for wall art, I didn't find anything that I liked or that would fit well in my booth, but I was able to find a few other small things that will fit nicely. You guys saw some of these. So at the first store that I stopped at, I picked up this pedestal. The silver piece itself isn't really worth a lot. It was $2 here. It's certainly worth more than that, and I think I'll clean it up, but this will be perfect to just add some height in the booth. Maybe this one, so that if you have a bunch of things at the same level, it kind of raises it up. I think that will be really cool, and is really the reason why I got it at the Habitat store. I also got this glass vase. Glass vases are not worth very much and pretty common, but this one is unique, and it was only 50 cents. Do you like it, Juniper? Also, milk glass vases are pretty common, but I've never seen one quite like this. So it's completely smooth all the way up to the top, and then it has this beautiful scalloped edge. There's no chips or cracks. I think it's pretty neat. It's only $2, which is good, but really I just thought it was pretty. These I found at the very last minute, and they look like something that would be a duplicate. It also looks unfinished, but this edge is actually gold, and it shows that it is mostly finished. There are some chips in the edges in different places. That mark is the reason that these two came home with me. Neither of them have chips, and I think it's a beautiful pair. They were $1 each At the last store that I went to, they always have a section of old books. This is kind of expensive to buy for resale, but both of these are such common books that I thought it would be worth it. So this is an Oscar Wilde, and it's just the works of Oscar Wilde. This does have his poems. Let's see, probably his most famous novel, The Pictures of Dorian Gray. The Importance of Being Earnest, which would be his most famous play. That's pretty neat. And it just has a few essays, which is pretty cool. And it just looks neat, like this is a good decoration book. And then this is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And this is another good decorative piece, but also probably the most recognizable thing you could imagine. Copyrighted in 1946, and it's a bunch of stories with pictures. Some of them are in color, which is pretty neat. But I just thought that was a beautiful book. I think it's gonna look great in the store. At that last store, I also picked up this plate. I still have one of these in the store, but I just love them so much. It says, "Give us this daily bread." And I think these are just really neat. Even though I have one already, I'm excited to have a backup for when that one sells. You saw at Goodwill that I got one thing, and it's this metal cake mold. So this is the one I just got today at Goodwill. Even though it was the only thing I got, it was totally worth it. These are the two I already have, an old bundt pan and a pretty new cake pan, but the shapes are really interesting. And I think if I get at least 2 more odd shapes or 2 more bundt pans or something, that'll really look neat on the wall. Maybe 2 more smaller bundt pans, but I think when we take those wreaths off the wall, this will be a good replacement. I also have a kitchen table that I've been working on. That's gonna go into the booth after Christmas. I also have like a Pyrex mixing bowl and a few other kitchen things that I just need to kind of get placed. And hopefully, being winter, a lot of people will want to be baking or just be interested in that after Christmas. Going shopping for the day is easily one of my favorite things about having the antique booth, but that does mean I have put off a little editing, so I need to head in and do that. I will see you tomorrow for day 7. Which seems crazy that we've already been doing this for a full week. Either way, we'll see you tomorrow. You say we'll see you tomorrow? We'll see you tomorrow.